agenda item is open public hearing, which we just did. The second is any invitation to speak. Nobody here. The third agenda is to vote on the budget, but before we do that, I'd like for Craig to talk about the process.
The whole process?
Just quickly, like what we're voting on.
Okay. Well, the process started in November. We met together and came up with some goals that I'm saying we as a committee, when created all the documents that she needed to create and sent them out to principals. The principals and directors worked with all of their different departments and schools. They came up with their budget proposals. We came in, we met with each of the individual schools and departments, met with them to understand what their needs were and understand all of their different initiatives. We put it all together and created a base budget, and then we had just different proposals. We had I can't remember what it was called now. Stage 1, I guess. It wasn't that, but it was something else that had all the different budget asks that we thought we needed to do legally. And then there was a second one that had just different initiatives to move the district forward. And then there was a third that had other initiatives in there that we didn't think, that we thought we could hold off on, and then we could move them forward in subsequent years. When we proposed our initial budget, I believe it was about an 8 to 9% increase. We then, working with the town in the finance department, we understood that that was definitely not going to work out. So then we had to work with our different schools to find that the number that they were looking that Zach and the finance committee were looking for us to get to was roughly 2.25% increase year over year. We had to get to that number. That number involved a number of existing staff cuts, certainly initiative cuts, and it represented roughly a 2.27% increase is almost $3 million increase from last year. It wasn't easy to get there. We had to make some very difficult decisions. We think that the budget that we proposed was the best case scenario for us under the circumstances, that allows us to keep a lot of the programs moving forward, but then also allows for some innovation as well. I think that one thing that we considered certainly was our enrollment decrease, and because we had an enrollment decrease, it allowed us to look at staffing in a different kind of way and reduce in areas where, because of the decrease, just the staff was redundant at that point. We also looked at staff members that weren't directly student-facing either, and looked at those kinds of positions too. So I'll speak more about that a little later in the meeting, but certainly difficult decisions, and it's been a difficult and challenging time, but I think under the circumstances, the budget that we're proposing at this point, again, allows us to move most of our programming forward, and some innovation too.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have a motion to approve the budget for $81,500,000 $413,472.
Motion.
Motion by Matt. Second by Derek. Discussion. Do we have any questions for the superintendent?
Just say thanks for all the work, because I know it took a lot of effort to get us to this place.
Great. All in favor? It's unanimous. Motion passes. Do I have a motion to close the public hearing and to adjourn?
Motion.
Motion by
to
Chris.
close- Motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Second by John. All in favor? Approve. Do we have to approve, to do a motion to adjourn as well? The second motion? Well, we might as well. Motion to adjourn. Motion by Brendan, second by
Sure.
Chris. All in favor? All right. Welcome to school committee. The meeting is adjourned at 7 p.m. And the first item on the agenda is invitation to speak. We have nobody. Second agenda item is announcements, correspondence, and distributions.
Everyone.
Chris?
Just want to thank the MHS athletic boosters and all the athletes. The athletic boosters set up a cleanup for around our athletic facilities last Saturday. Wasn't the greatest of weather, but a good showing from our athletic departments, and basically just kind of cleaning up in and around our athletic facilities. So thank you very much to them.
Thanks, Chris. Craig?
I have several. First, I got this, I have an email from a teacher. Yesterday, Katie Delaney, who's a student at Milford High School, did an absolute incredible job hosting her STEM-powered Girls Showcase. Over the past 12 weeks, the girls have immersed themselves in a variety of STEM projects, including robot programming, which led to a robot dance party charm design where students created designs that will be 3D printed into charms for bracelets. Game designs, and the girls developed original games featuring 3D printed pieces of boards that to proudly display at the showcase. What made this experience so special was not only the impressive projects themselves, but the confidence, excitement, and sense of belonging that these young ladies developed along the way. Watching girls in STEM empower other girls in STEM was truly inspiring, and it was impossible not to feel hopeful about the future we see in their creativity and enthusiasm on display. So, just a little bit of background is Katie came to me and was looking for a way to offer a program for students at Woodland, and she got some funding. She went out and got a grant and created this great program for Woodland girls. So it came out great. So I just wanted to share that with us, with the committee. Last night, our new deputy assistant superintendent gave birth to a baby boy. Everybody's healthy. Carrie wanted to be here tonight, but I told her to take the night off. Wen is currently at her graduation for Influence 100, so she's doing that tonight. She also wanted to be here, but I thought that was more important too. So unfortunately, neither one of them are here, but for very good reasons. That's it.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right, we're gonna do this a little differently. Approval of minutes. We don't need a vote, we just need it by consent, which means that I'm gonna ask if there's any additions or edits you wanna make to the minutes. If not, we're gonna just move on. All right? That's fine.
Okay. I just sent an edit to Melissa on the April 16th.
So
Minor
there's an edit?
edit.
Okay. Any other edits? Any other? That's fine.
It was just
For April 16th?
incorrect name reference. We'll just fix it.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay, and then what about April 23rd? Any edits or changes? If there's none, the minutes are approved. That's it, we're moving on. Right, general chairperson update. Subcommittee appointments, Melissa printed out the appointments, they're in your packets. Right, Melissa? No, okay, I'll just read them. For policy, Derek, Matt, myself. Budget is Megan, John, and Brendan. Facilities, Chris, John, and Matt. Labor, Brendan and Megan. Sick bank, Derek.
Can you say those again?
Did I?
No, I I started writing them down, I lost track.
Oh, I'm sorry. Policy, Derek, Matt, myself. Budget, Megan, John, Brendan. Facilities, Chris, John, Matt. Labor, Brendan, Megan. Sick bank, Derek. And thank you for all your feedback and getting those in. All right. The operating protocols. Is this, we pass this around, right? Yeah, I'll pass this around, just share it. I'll pass these around. These are the protocols that we sign every year, agreeing to be cordial to each other and other items of interest. And then we also need to vote on the school committee dates.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chair, quick
Yeah.
question on the school committee dates. And the first meeting obviously isn't after the start of the school year, is until September 10th. Do we need something, or would we like something before that, just as either from a readiness standpoint to get an update from our superintendent and staff, or just a quick review of here's how we did in that first week? Not sure if pushing in that first week in September, I know it's that Thursday night before, so I probably wouldn't suggest that, or going into that last Thursday in August. So just might be more of a dotted line style of do we want it or not?
Whatever the committee wants.
27th.
27th, maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna question the 27th as well, about putting one there. I know we talked about potentially starting school improvement plan discussions at the beginning of the school year, so if we were planning on doing that, I would prefer to see a meeting start at the end of August, so we could maybe get one in with an update and then move forward from there.
Any other?
I just have one, well, on that topic, I don't have any comment on a different topic.
Okay, yeah, so do we want to add a meeting for the 27th of August? Is anybody against that?
I feel like it's easier to add
Yeah,
and take away
Right,
than.
let's
than
add,
to add.
so, let's add a meeting. You got that,
I'd
Craig?
agree with that.
I have
Or Melissa?
it.
Yeah, okay. Any other dates or adjustments we want to make?
Just
Brendan?
one comment to the calendar, the legend at the bottom does not have like what the green boxes are for. I know we know that, but it just says shaded gray early dismissal, but there's no shaded green for school committee meetings.
Okay, thank you. So do I have a motion to approve the dates as proposed and the addition of August 27th? Motion by Meg, second by
Second.
Matt. All in favor? Unanimous? Motion passes. Thank you.
Can I ask one clarifying question? I'm sorry, Michael. I'm comfortable with
We're
it as
moving
it
on?
is. Can I just
Okay,
ask a question? Is the intention that we would do the 27th and 28th of January as the budget meetings and the other two are normal school committee meetings, or potentially we'd be layering on budget to the 7th or the 21st? I don't know if you thought if that's,
I think 27th, 28th would be just budget.
okay, thanks. That makes
Budget
sense.
ones,
Just wanted to
yep.
check. Thank you. Thanks, Michael.
Yep. Right, this is a fun one. MSBA update, I'm not gonna talk a lot about this, Chris's, but I do wanna say that I sent an email out to everybody. It's a presentation from last night. I would highly recommend you go through it, because the architects presented to us, footprints. So why don't you take it from there?
Excellent. I'm not
Sorry.
prepared.
I did not.
No worries, yeah. Obviously, like I've said to everybody in the past, certainly watching the meetings after, or even live or after is definitely going to be beneficial. Again, we met last night. The architectural team presented us with 6 to 7, sorry. 6
A through G.
or 7, yes.
A through G.
proposals. Everything, yeah,
And F and F1.
yeah, exactly. Everything from really just upgrading the current structure, which would require bringing everything up to code, to a brand new facility out on the athletic field, which was pretty much shot down just based off a lot of logistics. You would think for as much room as is out there, it would actually have to be shoehorned in. And then you also have the Godfrey Brook that would create parking on this side of the brook. So it would be a very long way of walking pathways to the school. So ultimately, I think what you're going to see, different pathways of kind of a build renovation, where they will build a new section, knock down sections. What that will entail, really not sure yet. So again, they look for feedback from us as they presented last night, and a lot of feedback was given to them. So again, we'll just continue on. The important dates coming up again are in mid-June, and that's when we will meet again with the MSBA, and we'll have some proposals with them. We're also at a point where we're looking for our construction manager, so that proposal has gone out, and over the next few weeks, that process will begin, and we'll start interviewing construction management companies.
Go through the presentation, it's important. Remember the outline you'll see of where is just a footprint of the first floor. There's no design, there's no schematics, there's no levels. It's literally just a footprint, and that's it. So it's just kind of concepts that we went through. So, and also there was no vote last night, or no formal vote on any one of these. The architect has to go through all of these iterations. So this is just part of their process. But it was super interesting to go through of where they're thinking of how things will work. If you guys have any questions on what things mean, just give Chris or I a call. We spent 2.5 hours last night asking lots of questions. So thanks. Any other questions about the MSBA update? Yeah, Meg?
Did the group talk, Michael, at all? I'm impressed, maybe and surprised that they include sort of durations of the build on here already.
Yep.
How does that factor into the conversation?
They prefaced saying, don't focus on the number. It's like
Okay.
this length, a little longer and a little longer. But they put the date, so of course you throw
It's
it
hard
in
not
there.
to, yeah, okay.
It's hard not to. So that's what I got out of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think the dates are a little bit, gray area, because if we do move 8th grade in, we would build everything, and that date is really when 8th grade would move in. If you do an add reno, you're adding space, moving students over, renovating other spaces. So
Happening much sooner than the date on here.
so you're technically you're always part of the building. It's not like you're building this brand new building and we
Fair.
have to shuffle everything over
Okay.
by a specific date. So again, with that add reno style, it's kind of like constant moving, and that
Okay.
date that you see is really that kind of
End.
the last paintbrush is done, and the 8th grade is really moving in.
That's super helpful. Thank
Yeah.
you. Appreciate that.
There is a slide later on, if you can read it. It actually has little arrows that talk about when they would first move in versus.
Thank you.
But don't take the dates. It's more of a general idea. If we did it this way, it's going to take potentially this number of months.
That's great. Thank you.
So,
Okay, cool.
any other questions? It's pretty exciting. All right, moving on. State of the community use program. Chris, you have 5 seats to choose from.
That's plenty.
There's only one correct choice.
Is this it?
It is it.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Chris.
Floor is yours.
Well, thank you for having me. I've supplied you all with some the summer camp schedule that we have so far, the new handbook that we're going to provide to our employees. This took a little bit of time, much along the school improvement plan that you guys have for schools. The community use employee handbook is something that I've wanted to do since I've gotten the position. I think it just shows the employees of the community use what needs to be done and how to go about working for community use. There was never really anything like this before, so I think this establishes some sort of procedural and expectations for all the employees that we have. The majority of the employees that we have working for us are extended day employees. They're pretty much from the beginning of the school year to the end of the school year. After school, the before school staff is usually consists of teachers or adults that work at the school in the morning, and they just go right to their job at that school. all the employees that we have are high school employees at the after-school program. And the summer program that we have usually has high school employees as well as college students for the summer camp. Just to give you a few ideas, or not ideas, just what we've been doing, I just want to provide you with some numbers this year for our extended day program that we've had. At Brookside, we have, just break it down quickly. In the morning, we have 24 students at Brookside that report. It opens at 7, and then they are, once the school starts, they are all in the cafeteria at all the schools, and they will just, they get brought up to their individual classrooms. In the afternoon, we have 43. Memorial is 20 in the morning, 37 in the afternoon. Memorial School, from where it's located, has always been the lower of the kids that attend. Woodland is always the most, 46 in the morning, 57 in the afternoon. The prices that we establish for community use is on the school calendar. We take the cost per year and divide it by 180 school days. For example, the morning rate per month for an individual to go in the morning is $215. So if you divide that by 180 days, it's $11.94 a day for the morning. And that's, they can get dropped off anytime after 7 o'clock at all the schools. Afternoon rate per month is $410, and that divided by 180, that's $22.77 per day, which the max that they can be there is around 3 hours. So let's say 3 to 6, 6 o'clock is the last pickup. So it's very reasonable, in my opinion. $22 a day, you're not really gonna be able to find that at other locations, or a private babysitter or anything like that. We have noticed that the numbers have gone down since COVID. I think that is from a lot of people obviously working from home now and not having to worry about after school or before school. So that has steadily declined for the past few years. The AM/PM rate, we do have that as well. We provide them with a discount, which is $575 per month, and that would be $31.94 a day for morning and afternoon. So it's still a very good bargain as far as I think. We do have to, from time to time, raise the rates yearly, because we do need to cover the cost of the people that work for us with their new contractual rate every single year. So what was established before I started as a director was the individuals that work, the teachers, the BAs, they get their contracted rate, whatever they are paid during their day. So if a BA is working for me in the afternoon, she makes $22 an hour, that's what we would pay for that person to work that. So we do have to adjust costs yearly to cover those increases as well. So it's one of our most popular programs. Does anybody have any questions on extended day or anything?
Chris?
Yeah, quick question.
Yeah.
Perfect segue. So the employee compensation, you talked about that. Obviously you have a number of students that are helping out. Are you adjusting their compensation rates from year to year?
No, so we do. So what I have established for students is if you're a first-year student in extended day, regardless of the year of your school year, you start off at $15 an hour. So let's say you as a freshman come in, you're at $15 per hour. You decide you want to do it again as a sophomore, you're at $15.15. Junior, $15.25. Senior, $15.50. So the max that they do per year is $15.50, and they just go up depending on what
Is
year.
that same for your summer camp counselors?
Same for summer camp too,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Summer camp is a little bit more, I don't want to say involved, but budgetary on that as well too. So I got to make sure that we stay within, as you know, community use being self-sustained, we can't spend more than we take in.
Sure.
Right, so I have to make sure that we have enough money to cover everything with all the expenses.
Yeah.
And the most expenses that we have by far is salaries.
Sure. And you're still staying cash positive, you feel like?
Correct.
based on enrollments, even though enrollments are down.
Correct. The balance that I currently have, I checked before we came in today, and my revolving account was $227,400. $425.
But that could fluctuate depending on the time of year, right?
Correct.
I mean,
It's
when-
roughly,
Yeah.
it has never gone below, since I've been here, 100,000. So,
And you can't go negative on a revolving account.
can't, right,
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
period, right. So the revenue so far this year is over $1 million. It's $1,110,044.08,
Mhm.
with almost 3/4 of that being, not extended day,
Sure.
other things, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and the same, going back to like compensation lifeguards, kind of curious on that too. I'm assuming lifeguards are harder and harder to come by. and
Yes.
Compensation and
So what we've
and how
done-
you're able to fill those positions.
what we've done for the lifeguards is we have a certification class here and a recertification class here. If you're a new lifeguard and you want to work for us, we do not charge you the cost to take the lifeguard class. We absorb that cost, with the caveat that you're going to work for us for either the summer or the winter. A lot of kids like the lifeguarding because you can do it. We have programs in the morning at the pool, we have programs at night at the pool. So they can go to school, come back and work, and even if you're an athlete or you're playing sports or theater or any other kind of thing, you can still have the opportunity to lifeguard at night or in the morning. So we have probably, I would say, 9 or 10 lifeguards on staff currently.
Thanks.
And the pool manager, Dave Chaplin, recruits some lifeguards too.
Good.
So, yeah.
Perfect.
Any other questions?
There's a couple more things I can go
Yeah,
over if you'd like.
I have a question.
Sure.
With the extended day, how do we market that?
So we send out what we call a constant contact, explaining to people that registration will be open. A lot of it is word of mouth, to be honest with you. Kids, you see the same kids going from kindergarten and following it all the way up until 5th grade. We tried a couple of years ago to get it started at Stacy, but there was no interest in that as well. But it's always through,
How do we get
word of
those,
mouth.
how do we get those emails into constant contact?
They would, when they sign up for a program, or they have the opportunity to go onto our website and put their email address in, and they'll get everything that we send out to them.
Yeah, so they have to find us first, and then we get their email, and then we can market to them.
To a point, yes.
Yeah, talking points.
Yes.
We talked about this briefly. Has really any movement, because it sounds like that there's a good opportunity to.
We just started using
Okay.
talking points, right.
Because
And
as a parent, my guess is that the extended day would actually have higher numbers if we got the information out to all the parents, because it is so cheap. So I'm just curious if that makes a change if we're marketing directly to the kids.
I can definitely look into ways to try to figure out how to get, yeah, absolutely. I mean, the talking points that we use is direct contact basically with the parents, not as a mass one, like
Oh.
an announcement would come out for after-school project or something like that, right? So
Good.
I just use it right now just to contact parents on a individual basis.
Oh, interesting.
I believe Mr. Kernan also includes community use activities, though, in his update that goes to all families. So
That's
I
right,
do
yeah.
think we capture
Yeah.
masses that way, Michael. I would just add that.
Sure. Matt?
Yeah, I think he does, and I believe also, I know at least at Brookside, I've seen the principals during orientation, everything, bring up before and after school, and I think it's in their handbooks too. I want to say there's somewhere in there, there's stuff about before and after school, so I know I feel like it's pretty well communicated, and most people I know about it, which is good.
Yeah, I mean, on that, certainly I've seen a lot of social media posts between you and your staff and the actual community use page. On that, kind of where we advertise, do we have any type of information during like pre-K registration or kindergarten registration? Do we send-
There is, as far as I know, yes. Like Matt said, the principals are
At least
aware of
Brookside,
the.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
in front of, so right now, right, the parents, the incoming parents and incoming students may not necessarily be on the distribution, or aren't on the distribution
Mhm.
list. So yeah, would we connect to those parents
That's
at
something that-
kindergarten registration or at pre-K registration?
Right.
And how we do that? So
Yeah.
just asking the question on that.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's something that we
Yep.
could definitely figure out a way to
Yeah.
connect with those parents. And there is information on extended day at the FRC.
Perfect. Yeah.
Any other questions?
You got more you're gonna?
I just wanted to go over a few of our.
Thunder.
Yeah, I just wanted to
perfect.
go over a few of our programs
Yeah,
regarding
definitely.
summer
Sure.
camp.
Perfect. Yep.
Like I said, I gave you guys the summer camp calendar. Melissa had shared that with you. That's basically what we have scheduled so far. It's 8 weeks. We're gonna start on June the 24th, which is literally the day after school ends. 3-day camp that week. And then we're gonna run all the way, until August. The second week in August.
Is that later than usual, Chris?
It is.
That's awesome.
It is. Yeah, we've had some requests from parents last year and a couple of previous years to try to extend it another week, or 2 weeks, and we were trying to figure out a way to do it, and we had to ask the staff that we have, because a lot of the staff leaves because they're college kids, and they have to go, or sports starts, or here at the high school or something like that. So this year, we were able to get enough staff to go another week.
Awesome.
Yeah, we usually average anywhere between 85 to 100. Last year's rate was $300 for the week, which is about $60 a day, obviously. This year, we went down to $250 per week to try to get more kids. You can come at a day at a time as well. That's $75 per day, just to come for that day. And then on days that we have field trips, that is priced at $100. We found last year when the field trips came, parents were just registering the kids for the field trip day, like to the Worcester Red Sox is one of the ones, and all of a sudden we had to purchase another 30 tickets, which sometimes might not be available, but yeah. So we have a lot of field trips this year. Worcester Red Sox, Kimball Farm. There's we do a bus tour around the town. I don't know if any of you guys have seen that, but one of Milford's bus drivers, Matt Holmes, who's great, can't thank him enough. He takes the kids around Milford on a bus, dresses up like a conductor from the Polar Express, and drives them around town, and they stop at various locations. If you want, we can stop at your place if you guys want. I know John has probably seen it at the town hall.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so just a few more things I just want to cover, just so you know where we are. We have, the pool is a huge success for us. We have a lot of programs that go on in there. Current program at Splash Hit and Lap Swim, they rotate between the mornings and the nights weekly. Splash Hit is an exercise program that you do in the pool, like a jazzercise or something along those lines. Lap Swim is self-explanatory. We have the Stingrays swim team. It's a club swim team. There has last year in Milford, there was over 140 kids registered from Milford and out of town for that particular program. We've started a club softball program called the Scarlet Storm. The first year we only had one team. It was 16U, which is the age group. We had fall tryouts and we established one team. That was the very first summer. This past fall, we had 14, 16, and 18 teams that we established. We had over 25. We had over 70 girls try out for 3 teams. So it's a very good program. Kids like it. We're currently running in-town registration for Milford Youth Softball as well. So we do the registration for them, and then they take on the responsibility of everything else. And I don't know, just to give you guys an update as well, Community Use is doing the permitting for the fields on Milford Public School property here in Woodland, not Town Park. That's still under the direction of the Parks Department. So, yeah, we're having fun at Community Use. I have very good employees. Lori and Julie. Gianna Krovacek is great. She's our leader of the programming in the packs and the programs that we run. I also shared with you, I don't know if you saw it, the newspaper club that we're running up at Woodland. That's been a huge success. We've had a wait list for this past one. Every week they interview somebody on the newspaper that was provided to you. It was my interview. They interview somebody every week. They've interviewed Carla Tuttle, a sergeant in the police force, and last week they were able to get Rich Gotham, who was the president of the Boston Celtics. He zoomed in, and they were able to interview him. So it's been pretty successful.
I guess I'm
It's great.
boring.
We can get you next.
I missed the email.
We can get you next. Yeah, so that's been a great program. We had the, what's the shop here called?
Building and trades?
Yeah,
Trades, building and trades. They built a newspaper, old school newspaper stand for us, and it's up at Woodland. So you can go in and anybody can go in and grab a copy of that too. So we print that out that meets every 2 weeks at Woodland. So
I
that's
heard
been
your ski program's great too.
huge success. We had a great ski program this year. We did. It was the first time that we've had it in probably, I would say, 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And we had, how many people do you think, Michael? 30?
We had 26.
26 people. Michael was the chaperone.
Uh-oh.
26 people every Sunday. They went up at, would you leave here around 1:30, 2 o'clock?
Yeah.
And then they were
1:45.
back by 9,
8:30.
8:30, yeah. So pick up here, drop off here. It was good. Kids loved it. I think it's going to be successful going forward too.
Chris?
So obviously, the newspaper, that's new this year.
Yes.
You resurrected the ski program.
Yep.
Any other programs? I know that's always something that you said, that you're always looking to grow community use and more offerings.
Right.
Are there any other new offerings
There-
or resurrected offerings this past
We
year?
have established a ASL class, American Sign Language. That's gone on, that's been 3 classes now. We probably get, I think each class is 10 people. That's been great. We established Kids Night Out. I don't know if you've heard of that. We haven't had one since January because it was February vacation camp, there was April vacation camp, and now we're gonna start redoing that. That's great, parents love that. They come here, hang out, watch a movie, go in the pool, and the parents just go away for like 3 or 4 hours, and it's, I think, maybe $35 to $50 at the most. Yeah, so, there's new programs all the time, it's just, I can provide you guys with a list of the new programs that we had.
I was just curious from a
Yeah.
general standpoint that
Yeah.
that you are having the ability, based on being cash positive, to have these other offerings. And
Absolutely.
If it doesn't work out, then it's not a strain on your budget.
Right, there are times where there will be programs that we have that do not meet the requirements in order for us to run the program. They're few and far between, but there are a couple of programs. For example, this past year, we had the Biddy basketball program for girls. I think we had maybe 15 girls sign up from ages kindergarten to 8 for Biddy basketball for girls. So what we decided to do is there's a company that we use called Fast Athletics that runs other programs, and we just provided the people that signed up for that program, and they ran the program for them so that they still had something. You know, so it was good.
Sounds
It's
good.
good.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Craig, did you have one?
I just had a comment that
Yeah.
I think Chris is, I've been very pleased with the programming that Chris is running. He does a great job with the staff. I think the other thing that I hope that what you got out of this was Chris is very willing to listen to what community members want. And he's also willing, if people are willing to run a program, he's willing to set it up for them, and you can have a program set for the community. So I think the bargain that you can get through community use is second to none, and I think that's a very valuable resource for all of our community members. So I just want to thank Chris for doing a
Thank
great
you.
job.
Thank you. We do have, like Craig said, we do take suggestions from the community, and that's clearly stated on our website too. So if you guys know of anybody or anybody that wants to run a program, feel free to reach out to us. Our address is right on the website.
I mean, Western Day. That's going to be all sold out, I bet.
What's that?
The Western Day.
Right?
I think the deputy superintendent's going to be all over that.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. When I wanted to do the ski program, I just called Chris and said he'd want to try this out. He's like, let's do it. So, anybody who wants to do it, it's great.
Yep.
Thank you for your time, Chris. Any other questions before we, Meg?
Chris, I was just curious, are you generally able to use our busing when you need transportation? Is that-
Yes, so for the ski program, one of the restrictions that we ran into previously was the cost of getting either the transportation company that we use now
Sure.
or another bus company to
Yeah.
come. And to bring the kids up there, to have them sit there, it was just, it's not feasible
Okay.
with the amount of money that they were charging. So I approached the transportation director and asked her if this is something that we could do.
Got it.
So what we ended up doing was we would use our buses.
Sure.
And I would pay the
Yeah.
driver's rate
Got it.
out of my
communities.
budget
Okay.
while he was up there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Is that what you do in the summer if they do a field trip generally?
Yes,
Excellent.
correct.
That's great.
Yep.
It's great to see it being
Yeah,
used.
and ideally, that's how we would like to do the field trips in the summer, is
Sure.
by use of our vehicles, but sometimes
How
that
many?
doesn't work.
Okay.
And if that doesn't work, then we obviously have to come up with something else and pay for that.
Okay.
But at all times, our preference is to use
Yep.
our
that makes
public
sense.
school buses, yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
I
And
was
it
going
has
to
worked
say.
out well.
Yeah, that's excellent. I was going to say thank you for the culture you create. I mean, my fourth grader does newspaper club and like goes till 5:30. When I tell you he jumps out of bed on Wednesdays because it's newspaper club. And we ever came home and said he was interviewing the president of Celtics. I'm like, I think you got that wrong. And I was like, oh no, I'm sorry, I was
that was
wrong.
him.
So
Yeah.
it really has been like
He-
so fun for them. So
He did go to Milford High School.
yeah, who knew? It was great.
President,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
So-
awesome. So cool. Keep it up. And
Yeah.
the art club also with them has been another huge hit. So there's
Yes.
been a lot of
Thank
activity
you.
that
Thank
students have enjoyed. So thanks.
Chris, one more thing, yeah. Again, thank you very much. Just in my notes, the handbook, obviously that's really good to see. Like you said, it establishes the expectations, so I really think that's really good. This board, from all different angles, have been looking for that type of literature to be, and documentation to be created. We've been pushing on the superintendent for different, like, job descriptions. So again, for you and your department to create that handbook just shows that what we're asking for Craig is it's bleeding down into the people that are reporting it to him, so I appreciate that. And then support from your board. I'm assuming, your board, you guys are still meeting
We meet
on a
every other
routine
month. Yes,
basis.
every other month, yeah.
Yep, support there. Good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yep.
And then, just quickly, Ms. Chair, are you keeping Chris, the community use director, here for the policy
Yes.
aspect?
Yeah,
Perfect.
we're going to roll right into that
Excellent.
as soon as you stop asking questions.
I'm done.
Thank you. Does anybody else have any other questions for Chris?
Not now.
Yeah, we're going to continue talking about it. Again, thank you, Chris, for that update.
You're welcome.
So one of the, John Erickson and I years ago started on this community use project, and it's morphed into what we see today as far as the organization. One of the questions we had for Chris Burns was their handbook. In our policies, at policy, community use had all these deep policies with like prices and fields and rules and whatnot. And we said, hey, let's take all that out of the school policies, put it into a handbook, just like the schools do, and have a similar rotation. When the schools come in to approve their handbooks, let's have community use. So tonight's the first time we're doing that. So we're very excited that Chris has executed this idea, and the idea is to give him the authority to actually go operate without having to come back to us to ask all these questions. So we're going to roll into some voting. So we have file KF, Community Use of School Facilities Programming Policy. This policy is, we discussed it at policy today, and the intent is to give Chris the authority to actually just go operate and do programming. So the policy approved it. Does anybody else want to talk about Brendan or Derek or Chris?
Well, not about your policy meeting, but I wanted to just add a few thoughts and
Yeah,
comments.
go ahead. Yeah.
So, keep in mind, this is the Milford Community School use. That was voted on in the 70s at town meeting so that the entire community can utilize the benefits of the school, whether it's the pool or cooking classes, carpentry classes back in the day when we had the shops. But we never really had any firm policies. It was really just, a little maybe unorganized or not any official things. So I'm glad that we've gotten to this point now, and I think this is what we need. And again, it's for the entire community to benefit from the use of these buildings. So that's the genesis. It seems like overwhelmingly, of course, it's sort of student-oriented now with all the added programs, and that's how it's grown and developed, but just that little bit of perspective for anybody hearing about this for the first time, not here, of course.
Thanks.
Chris? Chair, thank you. Yeah, thank you for the policy subcommittee for developing this. I guess, kind of in conjunction, we're going to get rid of the KF1 and KF2. And KF1 also included the pool, gymnasium, auditorium, and fields. I just want to make sure that all of that, so even though we're removing these, that new KF kind of encompasses all of those different facilities. I wasn't quite sure if it captured that, and I was a little bit concerned with that. So again, if you kind of read through the different sections of it, right, of KF1, it does hit upon those different components. And does this new KF capture all of the pool, the gym, the auditorium, and the fields that community use now oversees? Or are you not overseeing like the auditorium and the gym?
Well,
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Well, I would think, and I'll let you answer in a minute, but we now have, we have a community use director, and we're allowing the community to use all the school facilities, so it really does need to be under his umbrella. But to your point, how detailed of a policy should we have, do we need, and are we
Yep.
missing anything tonight at the
Sure.
first,
Yep.
the first read? Now that we only do first reads.
Really, the intent is to empower Chris
Mhm.
to create a fee schedule and do all those sorts of things outside of the policy, so that he doesn't have to keep coming back
Right.
and updating all those things.
Sure.
I think that what you should expect, though, is an annual kind of update on those sorts of things.
Okay.
Maybe it's embedded within the handbook, or maybe it's a separate document, but I think
Right.
the point of the policy, as I understand it, is to pull out any of the procedural things,
Right.
so that there's a different document that covers all those that can be updated on his own.
Okay.
Yeah, and you don't want to write a policy that boxes yourself into a corner.
Yeah.
So Chris, answer your
Right.
question.
Yep.
From doing this on policy for a bit, especially with
Yep.
community use, was to broaden the authority of Chris.
Yep.
To be clear what he's responsible
Sure.
without getting specific. And the
Right.
intent would be this handbook will have that information in it
Okay.
that, we should see at some point.
Yep.
To do that, right? And so we felt that getting specific turf stuff in a school committee policy was too operational and too detailed.
Yeah.
Like, what if he wants to change a rule mid-season?
Right.
Let's go do it. So so the intent was to move these things off, put them into an operational
Okay.
policy. And in talking to Chris over the past
Yeah.
2 years, it wasn't very clear what he was supposed to do,
Mhm.
right? And this, with programming, and this clears that up.
Okay, yeah, like I said, just want to make sure it captures. And then in particular on KF2, page 3 of 4, so within it, there was a lot of rules that were in here as far as, conditions of use, right? And what's allowed and not allowed. Whereas, for example, softball and baseball use is prohibited at Milford High School turf field. So something like that, to the following are not permitted on the surfaces: cleats, skateboards, bicycles. So if we get rid of this policy, where are the rules captured?
I mean, I think it covers what we have. If we need to add something
Yeah.
for specifically that, but if you look through I can't remember what page that is on.
Chris, I'm sorry, what document are you looking at right
Sorry,
now?
KF-2. Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Is that the one that you,
Chris Burns.
is that the one that was retired?
Yeah.
KF-2 is being
Okay.
retired, right?
Yep.
What are
So
you looking at, though,
again,
Chris?
I'm looking at the one the new one.
The policy itself.
Handbook?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do we have that? That's what I was,
So
You-
we have our agenda, and the confusion is, we see a community use employee handbook, mix up rental procedures,
Right.
summer camp calendar, and March newspaper. So the question is, what are you looking at?
It's the one at the top that says Milford Public Schools / community use.
We don't have.
Oh, we do. It's
Yeah.
it's actually labeled mix up rental procedures.
Yeah.
sorry, it's where,
Thank you.
labeled
Yeah,
what,
yeah.
Michael?
It's
Yes,
this.
exactly.
This
Yep.
is the start of the
This guy?
community
Oh,
use
thank
handbook.
you,
Right.
sorry, I
So
apologize,
no,
thanks.
that's right.
Thank you.
So the intent is this is the start of the handbook.
Great, thank you.
Correct. So what we have here was the intent to present, just present tonight or present and vote on tonight?
Sorry, we were going to vote on file CAF
Okay.
tonight.
But not the community use, what do we call it?
That's the procedure for the,
Procedure.
for the KF.
No,
Okay.
I don't think we're ready to vote on this yet.
Right, okay.
That was, yes,
Yep.
this is just,
So again,
Okay,
that's,
yeah.
yep. So again, I'm good with KF. The concerns that I have are the elimination of KF1 and being inclusive for all the facilities, which John made note of, that it should just include everything there. Then the other thing is with KF2, again, all of the conditions of use, which are very extensive, and I mean, some to us are it makes sense, you know, no golfing, no javelin, no metal spikes, right? No tailgating, no alcohol, like, they make sense.
It's not going to go away. It's being moved into the.
That's why,
operating
and it's not there yet. That's why. So I'm concerned with eliminating a policy before I see it in another place. So that way, this isn't just, all of this doesn't get lost, because as soon as we retire it, it's gone. But it hasn't transitioned over yet. to
right,
our new policy.
I can add that
Right.
to this.
Yeah, and I don't think everything needs to extensively be there. We can still go through it, but I think there needs to be consideration for what's in here for rules and regulations to bring over to
Okay.
your literature.
I mean, I understand what you're saying.
Yep.
I can take a look at, so at the back, there's the Milford Public Schools community use. So
Mhm.
there's a lot of what you want to say, rules or whatnot in there. If
Yep.
that's something that I can add to that
Yeah.
one, that there's 21 of them.
Right. Yep.
So I can add whatever is on that other KF file into there, but there's,
Yep.
I think, there's a lot in there that covers what you're looking for, I
Sure.
think.
Okay.
So Chris Burns, why don't we, take a day to think about it, come back to us and let us know when you can come back with a kind of a draft or a revision of what the handbook looks like
Okay.
with, just make sure that we have everything in there. This is a great exercise, so.
Yep.
Matt?
Stop me if I'm missing something in file KF and the idea of the way it's set up, procedures and handbook to the side, and the guidance, I guess, high level for Chris here is good. What I think, though, we need to potentially add to this is some sentence that points people to the community use handbook for those kind of things, because if I am a community member, I'm gonna read this and there is nothing in here about what Chris was just talking about, which there shouldn't be, but there should be some statement in the policy that says, for details on proper use of facilities,
It's the
See
last bullet, Matt, under
communities.
permit requirements,
where are we?
page 2, the third bullet under permit requirements. Says, for specific instructions, please reference the Milford Community Use
There it
Program
is,
handbook,
okay.
I believe.
Where
But
you
I
at?
don't, I disagree that we could highlight around
No, yeah, but that's,
more criteria.
I didn't see that there.
Yep,
So that's,
sorry.
that's good, thank you. That's
Yep.
like specifically what, I just want something in here so that people don't say, well, I read the policy, there's no data there.
I-
It is there, so that's
I
good.
hope people are not reading this first, and I hope they, find the handbook first, personally.
I would imagine, well, I should say, from the experience I've had, most people look for the policy when they think about this.
Really?
Yes, they do.
Oh.
Because they think about what is guiding the control of it. But that is right there, so, as long as they read the whole thing.
And
it's not-
above,
Maybe
too,
highlighted, bold, italics.
permit rental
Hyperlink.
process. And that's probably the one that people would actually look at, right?
Yeah, and I'm thinking more along the lines of like, I know the youth sports groups get it, but for example, Chris and I have had discussions about soccer and how the nets are not town property or soccer property and who's using them around town and just different, I guess, discussions. Some groups know what they should and shouldn't do, others may not, and I just want to make sure that they're aware of that. where to get that information or who to talk to get the right guidance.
Chris, maybe I can connect with you because I regarding the wording or
100%.
whatnot, because
Yeah.
I just, with the ones that, the 21 of those things that, or the rules, let's say,
Yes.
maybe we can just put it in there to cover what you're looking to do. It's-
You
right.
might even
Yeah.
want to separate some things. I mean, you might
Yeah.
want to have an agreement that they sign to rent the turf, which that would have
Yeah.
nothing to do with renting the gymnasium or the auditorium.
Right,
or-
and
Right.
Or
Yeah.
anything else. You might want to make it, site-specific.
I do have a separate one for the use of the turf and grass fields, and one for the pool. So I could put one there to cover the space in here as well.
Yeah, I mean, just, if I'm renting the pool, just tell me what I need to know. I don't need to know that I can't, hit a baseball on the turf.
Right, okay.
Right, so, I think what we're hearing out of it, we'll move forward with the file KF, but when you start to build this out, just bring it back to the committee every so often, email it out, here's what I'm doing. Just so we know that we feel comfortable that moving these rules out of the policy into the handbooks, and they don't have to be verbatim, like John said, do what you feel is right. But I think the sense is we want to make sure there's a structure and there's rules
Yes.
and procedures.
Okay.
Do we have a motion to approve file KF as presented?
So moved.
Motion by Chris, second by Brendan. All in favor? It's unanimous, motion passes. Do I have a motion to retire KF1, use of school facilities? Motion by Brendan, second by Matt.
I think I'm Brendan, apparently.
Oh, sorry, Derek.
Well done.
Motion by Matt.
The shirt.
Well, the same shirt on, I get it.
All in favor? It's unanimous, motion passes.
You guys gotta stop moving seats.
It's confusing.
Every
Yeah.
week. 2 years in the summer.
Do I have a motion to retire file KF-2 turf field complex usage? Motion by Matt, second by Meg. All in favor? It's unanimous, motion passes. Thank you. And Chris, thank you for coming today and doing all the work.
Mr. Chair, I guess one thing, is it okay, can we go back to that rental property documentation? Do we want to talk about that now, or just have Chris, because I've got some questions, but I can go to Chris on the side, as this is a developing documentation anyways?
I think it makes sense for you, based on the discussion
table
tonight. You side by with Chris and,
Yeah.
and
Just table it.
express your thoughts, and I think you took some of my thoughts already and
Perfect, then.
Yeah.
come back,
Do on that?
not to belabor it tonight.
Yeah, exactly, that's why I wanted to put it that way. As long as with approval, I can sidebar with him.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Table it. All right, moving on. Next agenda item is elementary custodial cleaning services contract.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Chris. I mean, you can stay.
I have to go get ice cream.
Okay.
Anybody want one?
Yes.
Where from?
You can stay.
Um,
and look at it.
Halfway in.
So I just want to update the committee on the cleaning service contract. We conducted a formal RFP for elementary school, after-school, summer school, and summer cleaning services. When Carlos, the 3 elementary principals, and I closely involved in walkthroughs and proposal evaluations based on evaluation results of both non-price and price proposals. The lowest responsive and responsible bidder is Dynamic Janitorial Cleaning Incorporated, which is a Milford-based company serving school districts including Holliston, Hopedale, Shrewsbury, and Lincoln Sudbury. Reference checks reported satisfying cleaning quality and communication overall, with Holliston noting quick response times as a local vendor alongside some staff turnover that reinforces the need for strong SOPs and regular performance meetings, which is specifically required in our RFP. While we're mindful of transitioning from CleanCo after many years of service, Dynamics proposal is approximately $36,000 lower than CleanCo's, resulting in about a $9,000 savings in the FY27. They also offer level pricing for years 2 and 3 compared to CleanCo's historical annual increases. To balance cost, quality, and risk, we awarded a one-year contract to Dynamic Janitorial Cleaning beginning July 2026 with 2 optional one-year extensions, with transition and summer cleaning planning to follow upon the contract execution. So we're really excited to begin working with Dynamic, and we thank Clean Co for the many years of service to Milford Public Schools.
Any questions, Meg?
Craig, about how many people do we employ via this service? Do you have any sense? Or do we contract, I should say, not employ, but,
Roughly 12 to 15.
okay, just curious, thanks. So, great outcome.
Any other questions?
No, just a comment. I'm glad that we finally put this out to bid. I mean, Clean Co, we follow procurement because they're on the state bid list and we're allowed to hire them all these years. I know I expressed concerns over the past few years. When Craig came on board around this time last year, it was really too late to do anything with this school year's contract. I'm glad he and Wen and everyone else followed through with putting this out to bid and getting a, qualified bid that's going to save the district money. And the fact that it's a local company is just, I think, a little bit of a bonus. Local company, local workers.
Thank you.
And, if we're keeping score at home, it's the 3rd contract we did this year. We did the teacher's contract, this one, and the bus contract.
Not bad.
Gold star.
Yeah, with a couple more to go.
Keep it going. All right, any other questions? Great. Next agenda item is report of the superintendent of schools.
All right, it's Teacher Appreciation Week. I prepared something that I just want to read. This has been one of the most difficult years in recent memory for Milford Public Schools. Our staff is absorbing the change of new administration, navigating the uncertainty with looming budget cuts, and still showing up every single day with their students at the center of everything they do. Teacher Appreciation Week comes at a different time this year, and I think that matters. I've watched our nearly 400 teachers, counselors, deans, EL coordinators, OTs, PTs, and team chairs, not to mention all the BAs, TAs, administrators that we employ, custodians, lunch, cafeteria staff, bus drivers, everyone put students first in ways that honestly humble me. Tired nights, stressful days, and in more cases than I'd like to admit, personal sacrifices that most people in this room will never see. These are people who stay long hours, long after the bell rings, who spend their own evenings thinking through how to reach a struggling student, and who have put the needs of the school community ahead of their own health and their own families more times than I can count. They don't do it for recognition. They do it because they care deeply about every kid in front of them. And to every member of our staff, I see you, I appreciate you, and I'm grateful every day that you choose to do this work in Milford. So thank you. So I just wanted to say that to all of our staff members in Milford, that it's important to recognize them, especially during this week, during Teacher Appreciation Week. And again, when I think of Teacher Appreciation Week, I think of all the staff members that service our kids. The next item I have is just a quick update, kindergarten update. So we're about where we typically are year over year. We currently are about 285 students, kindergarten students. I think if you remember, we were looking at census data that could potentially have put us at 395 kids. But right now we have 285 students that are assigned to schools. 78 of those students have already been identified as EL students. We have 49 students whose first language is not English that still have to be screened. So potentially That's about 130 kids that could potentially be English learners, roughly 45%. This year, just to put that in perspective, this year at Brookside and Memorial, we were over 50% English learner at those schools. So we're roughly about where we would expect to be about this time. A typical year in any given class is usually around 310 to 325. Some years in the past we've been up over 350, but I anticipate that we will probably be in the 300 range, 315 range. So it's something we're always keeping an eye on, and I think that we're in pretty good shape at this point. Nothing that we're really too concerned with.
Thank you.
Yep. And I think the other thing that you have in front of you, hold on, I lost my agenda, is a personnel update. Let me find my agenda. Too many tabs open. This does not require a vote. It's just showing you all of our hires. It's a lot of it is summer school, ESY. And that's it.
Any questions for our superintendent? All right, we'll move on. Consent agenda. So tonight we have a warrant of $1,102,559.64. Any questions about the warrant? So I have a motion to approve the warrant as presented. Motion by Meg, second by Matt. All in favor? It's unanimous. Motion passes.
Sorry, I thought we were doing consent agenda, doing both at the
Oh,
same time.
you know what? You're right. Sorry, this was going through.
It's okay.
Anyways, and then we have a professional development for $2,002. Do you have a motion to approve that as presented? So motion by Chris, second by John. All in favor? It's unanimous. Motion passes. I'll just rolling through line by line. All right, subcommittee updates. Labor and management. Any update?
We met last week, Michael. I would say sort of standard updates from the group. Most items had either already been addressed or in the process of being addressed, so nothing out of the ordinary there. Craig, my only suggestion for that meeting was going to be, I think it'd be good to like implement an agenda, so we do a little bit more than just the building rotation every week. Based
Sure.
upon the contract meeting, it felt like there might be a couple other items we want to layer
Okay.
in, so maybe we could talk about that.
Yes.
Facilities update?
Facilities.
Chris?
So, yeah, we met this afternoon. Happy to announce that the Brookside project is complete.
I forgot it was going.
So, yeah, so
Not
obviously
going
there was a
anymore.
few lingering
Sorry.
items that from a, like, you'd call a punch list side of it that needed to be addressed, and those have since been addressed, so it's complete. Stacy HVAC assessment, that report's being created, it should be in next week, and that's basically will help set the pathway of how we will go forward with the HVAC updates from there. MHF's roof, it's been stable, so obviously we didn't have any sort of, I know we weren't supposed to talk about it, but it's on the agenda, so.
Supposed to speak.
So, yeah, that's why I knocked on wood. So things been good. The gutter system that Carlos created was, you know, I mean, for his, we all kind of laughed, but boy, it worked pretty well. So, it wasn't tested too severely, which is the other good part. So discuss the also HVAC assessments at Memorial and Brookside. So that same company that did the original assessment at Stacy, they are also interested in the HVAC assessments at Brookside and Memorial. So we implored the administration to go ahead and do those assessments, and it's within the budget, so there's no extra monies that we would have to do on that side of it. Memorial roof assessment, that's something else that the report's coming to us, and we'll look at that, and will be more discussion as we kind of bring all of that information together as, you know, here's the assessment, where are we at in the warranty, and what are our options. So basically just kind of creating a capital plan for that was also discussed. And then a continued discussion regarding just the ticketing and project tracking, and just how we will look towards that in the future. That's it in a nutshell.
Thank you. Policy,
Sorry, can I ask a question?
Yeah,
on
go ahead.
facilities? Is everything resolved, Chris? Do we know with the Woodland elevators? I know it was good, and then that's good, it's working. It's-
Right now it is.
Okay,
Yep.
great.
so nobody's still trapped?
No one's strapped.
Okay, thanks.
It wasn't on our agenda.
I didn't know if it
per
came up.
se,
Yep,
but
got it.
was-
Okay.
It may have been mentioned that
Okay.
it's something that they were looking at.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Do you have a policy update? Derek, do you want to give an update?
Update is, chair. Unexpectedly.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you.
Mr. Silvers.
Then you kick me off the policy committee.
Yeah, huh?
And you kick
First
me off,
action.
yeah.
Yeah, so we met, today, and we were with Chris, Burns, and talking about community use. That's pretty much took up most of our time. I'm not sure if there's anything else. No, that's it.
All right, do I have a motion to move into executive session?
Hold.
Roll call. Oh,
Future agenda. You're not gonna skip me again.
oh, it's actually
Not
not,
gonna do it.
it's not on
I
the
was
agenda.
ready to go.
It's not on the agenda, but yeah.
Future agenda items?
Yeah, it's
Item
actually,
12?
It's right there.
oh, it is, sorry.
It's okay. I was ready to go this time.
No,
I
you're
wasn't
right.
gonna be
No, you're right.
distracted.
Feisty
Go ahead.
Big time.
What are they?
So, no, two things. One, to the policy subcommittee, the fundraising policy.
Don't look at me.
Oh, sorry. Well, you were looking at me, so yeah. Policy fundraising, and just really, I know it's a continued discussion, and just really, how can this board, help streamline the process, and what is our best avenues in getting Wen involved, and I certainly have some ideas too, so we can offer those up. Also, just looking at what some other schools are doing, I think would be beneficial of that. So not necessarily just creating our own policy, but seeing what's working with other school departments from streamlining their fundraising efforts. And then the other one is, whether or not we'd like a policy to discuss and consider reviewing and approving stipends before they are certified. So again, that gives us a little bit more awareness of, that policy would be created to say that the administration would propose to us, here are all the stipends that we're going forward with, and we would approve them. So again, that gives us the more visibility to them. So again, something to consider. I'm not sure if it would goes anywhere or not, but just wanted to bring those up.
I think those are both worth discussing further.
Thank you, Chris. Sorry about that. I didn't, yeah. Anyways, any other long-term agenda items? Matt?
This is for you too.
Oh, gosh.
This is fun.
Yeah, let's do it.
I would like to revisit a policy we had in the past that we got rid of about a first, second read related to policies. It may not be the exact same thing, but I would feel like the discussion should get restarted on how we can review this stuff and have time to sit with it before voting, rather than, again, I think we tend to land where we landed tonight, where people see it, they read it in the last couple of days, they haven't had really a lot of time to settle into it, and then I feel like we keep getting into a spot over and over again where we're saying, yes, we'll approve this policy, but we are expecting these pieces too. So we can discuss that, I think, as a subcommittee to
Yeah.
see maybe if there's a procedure or something in there.
Okay.
Thank you. Any other long-term agenda items? Okay, so a motion to move into executive session, which is a roll call vote. Motion by Brendan, second by Matt. Matt?
Yes.
Derek?
Yes.
Meg?
Yes.
Brendan? Yes. Chris?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Everybody's yes.